Thanks for your question. Determine whether the polygons are similar. If so, write a similarity statement and give the scale factor. If not, explain. Okay, we got a lot to do there. So I'm just going to look at a couple of these. 14. Two things that need to be true for the shapes, for the polygons to be similar. All the angles have to be the same. And you can see their congruence marks there are showing you that the angles are the same. So I passed that test. And then the sides have to be in the same proportion. So let's take a look at that. Let's look at the hypotenuse. So one hypotenuse is 34, the big triangle, and the small triangle it's 17. And 34 divided by 17 is 2. If I look at the long leg of the right triangle, so I got 30 on the big triangle and 15 on the small triangle. 30 divided by 15 is 2. Short leg, 16 on the big, 8 on the small, and it's also 2. So all the angles matched up, all the angles were the same, and all the sides are in that proportion. And that 2, by the way, that's our scale factor. So we could say scale factor equals 2. Okay, looking at the problem again, it says determine whether the polygons are similar. So yes, they're similar. If so, write a similarity statement and give the scale factor. So we've got the scale factor, similarity statement. So if we call the big triangle JKL, triangle JKL is similar. I think that's the similar symbol. Double check me on that. Now I got to make sure I write the letters in the right order. So the first letter right here was J. That was the right angle. That was the point at the right angle. So I'm going to write P because that's at the right angle of the small triangle. Then I wrote K. That was the one with one congruence mark on it. So that would correspond with Q and then R. So make sure you get that order correct so that the right the right vertex corresponds to the right vertex. Okay, so I got my scale factor, got my similarity statement, and yes, they're similar. Okay, so now let's look at number 15. Okay. Okay, I got two rectangles. All the angles are 90 degrees. So the angles all match up. They're all 90 degrees. That's fine. So let's see if the sides correspond. So if I look at that big side on the big rectangle, I got 12. Now if I look at the big side on the small rectangle, I got 9. And let's see, that reduces to, they're both divisible by 3, 4/3. Now if I look at the short side on the big rectangle, I got 10. Short side on the little rectangle, I got 8. Those are both divisible by 2, so that reduces to 5/4. And 4/3 is not equal to 5/4. So even though the angles match up, the sides are not in proportion. So no, these are not similar. So we're not going to write a similarity statement, and we're not going to give the scale factor. We're just going to say no, they're not. Okay, these ones on the bottom, it's given that they're similar. It says the polygons are similar. Find the value of each variable. Okay, let's look at 19. Um, so what we're going to do is set up a rational equation. So let's say I take that 12 there. 12, looks like the longest side of the big quadrilateral. So what's the longest side of the small quadrilateral? Well, that looks like x. Those two sides correspond. Okay, so I've got an unknown in there. I've got x. So let's try to avoid y and z in my next fraction. So how about I look at 9, so this side right here. And that looks like it corresponds with this side here, 6. So there's my rational equation. So now I can solve it by cross multiplying. So I end up with 9 times x equals 12 times 6, which is 72. And I can get the x by itself by dividing both sides by 9. And I wind up with x equals 72 divided by 9. I believe that is 8. We can check that that's true by plugging it back into this equation. 12 divided by 8, does that equal 9 divided by 6? I think so. So just to get you started on another variable on number 19, if I wanted to do let's say y, this side corresponds with this side. So I can still use my 9 and my 6, the blue side there. I could do y over 6. So the green side from the big quadrilateral over the green side from the small quadrilateral equals 9, which is from the big quadrilateral, and 6 from the small quadrilateral. And then you might be able to see what the answer there is for y. Okay, hope that helps. Thanks for your question.